Some research designs look complicated at first, but this one is actually very intuitive once you picture it clearly. Cross-sectional and longitudinal studies are really about one simple difference. That is time. How many times are you collecting data? So let's start with cross-sectional studies. A cross-sectional study collects data at a single point in time. So one single point in time. Think of it like taking a photograph. You capture a situation as it exists right now. For example, you might survey students like this semester to understand their current stress levels and study habits. Everything is measured once in a single snapshot. From that snapshot, you can describe patterns, relationships, and differences within that moment. But you are not tracking change over time. You are observing a single point in the story. But when it comes to longitudinal studies, they work differently. Instead of one snapshot, you take multiple snapshots over time. You might collect data at the beginning of a semester, midway, or even at the end, or even across several years. Now, you are no longer looking at a single moment. You are looking at change, how something develops, increases, decreases, or shifts over time. For example, you might study how students' academic stress changes from first year to final year. That is longitudinal thinking. The difference between the two becomes very important when you link it to what you are trying to understand. If your research question is about current relationships or conditions, a cross-sectional design is usually enough. If your question is about development, progression, or change, then a longitudinal design becomes more appropriate. But longitudinal studies comes with practical demands. They require time, consistent access to participants, and careful tracking to avoid losing data along the way. Cross-sectional studies are more practical in many academic settings because they are quicker to execute and even easier to manage. So here is a simple way for you to keep all this clear. Cross-sectional equals one moment in time, a photograph. Longitudinal equals multiple moments in time, and one shows you a situation and the other shows you a trajectory. And when it comes to methodology, choosing between them is really about deciding whether your research is trying to understand a snapshot or a story over time. Once that difference or distinction is clear, the rest of the design becomes much easier to justify.